Greg Hennis alongside Steve Silverio, and we are back at the all-new Devon Nissan, where Steve loves to say,
just do the deal!
You know, Steve, I was thinking, today is not only the first sale of the new year, but you realize this is the first sale of a brand new decade here at the all-new Devon Nissan?
Hey, 2020, and let me tell you, my new slogan for 2020, if you're alive, you can drive, so come on down and see me.
Now, Steve, what do you mean by that? If you're alive, you can drive. What does that mean to the folks at home in Pennsylvania, Delaware, New Jersey, and the Lehigh Valley?
Well, let me tell you what I did find out. Okay, you've been doing this business a long time, and every day they say is a learning experience, even in life in general. You're learning constantly. What I've learned in the last 30 to 60 days is that if you're working and can prove that you've got a job and that you can make a payment based on whatever car that you want in that payment, whatever that payment comes out to, we've got banks that'll absolutely shake their head one way, and that's this way. I'm an absolute believer, more so than ever. I've always talked about trade amnesty. We'll pay off your car no matter what you owe. I have control of that. The banks don't. What the banks do have control of is when I say I can get just about anybody financed, 80% of the people we get approved, we have a 20% unsuccess ratio. I'm telling you now, folks, that I can just about shake my head and say I can just about now tell you that I can get 100% of these people approved.
Wow.
The banks have really in this country stepped up. If you have got a great relationship with them, which we do, I've been doing this for 100 years. I know the banks know me, I respect the banks respect me. You come to this dealership, and again, what we just talked about, if you're alive and you want to drive, you get down here, and I'm going to tell you something. For 2020, for the brand new decade, you're going to get yourself a brand spanking new car or pre-owned automobile, and it's going to be your decision whether you want it, not the bank's decision and not my decision. It's going to be your decision. So you come on in. I will definitely get you approved, no matter what the circumstances are, as long as you've got a job and you can afford the payment. All right? You come on down, we're going to get you approved. I can say that now unequivocally, that we have banks now that are really stepping up to want to earn your business. Plus, we've got tax time right around the corner. We know, and all the dealers know, that there's going to be people out there with cash that's going to help you with a little cash down to move the banks. We're going to be able to still pay off your trade no matter what you owe. We're still going to be able to do credit amnesty. And I'm telling you, with some offers we've got right now with some cash back, I'm going to also show you how you can pick up a new car, keep a relatively inexpensive payment, and walk out of here with a bunch of cash.
I got to tell you, Steve, you've got it all on the table. You've got the trade amnesty, the credit amnesty, and, of course, the ever-popular cash. They love the cash. They love the cash. They love the cash. Now, let's start off and talk about some of the offers that are out there. Number one, Nissan. I know you've talked about the banks have really stepped up their game. You were just talking about that.
Now the factory has.
They really have. And it's unusual to get them both on the same page, isn't it?
I'm telling you, usually after the big clearance of 2019 that we just had, and again, I've got to thank everybody out there in television land. I'm going to thank everybody from the bottom of my heart. We had a huge December because of you. Now, granted, we sold a lot of cars. We took a lot of short deals. But we've got a lot of new friends and people in the family now that bought a lot of cars from us. And guess what? I moved a lot of metal, and we put it in somebody's driveway to make you happy for the end of 2019. I thought that January was going to be a tough sell, but Nissan didn't let us down. They came right back at it with huge programs, huge low lease payments, huge rebates, low interest rates. I've got as low as 0% in some cases.
Wow.
I'm telling you.
To start off the year?
To start off the year, we've got rebates up to $8,000 for you. that you can put in your pocket between discounts and rebates, low monthly payments. I'm going to tell you something. There's not a car in my inventory right now that I can't look somebody in the eye and say, I got a deal on just about everything.
And they're going to say, just do the deal, Steve.
And guess what? Nissan stepped up because Nissan's taking it from us all the way out in Nashville where headquarters is. They're starting to learn to just do the deal.
Now, speaking of doing the deal, let's get the party started. Let's talk about the Nissan Sentra. Let's talk about that bad boy for just a moment.
Well, let's start for the one with the biggest discount, but the shortest discount that we have on our thing with the rebates and discounts. We have $5,000 back, again, on a $20,000 car. I mean, it's 25% off.
Now, when you say $5,000 cash back, up to $5,000 cash back, what exactly does that mean to the customer at home? Does it mean that they're obligated to do a certain thing with that cash? How does that all work to the customer at home?
If the car is $20,000, $21,000, let's say the $5,000 that I put on the table. Some people say, well, take the $5,000 off the car.
Okay.
So that means you finance $15,000 plus tax. But how about this? That car is inexpensive enough that where if you don't take the $5,000 off and you finance the whole $20,000 plus tax, well, let's just say you put the tax money up, but you financed the $20,000. What's your payment going to be? $375? And you're putting $5,000 in your pocket. What I noticed at the end of December, that lady was pretty smart. I got to give her credit. I got to give the old gal credit. She had a couple credit cards that she was paying $267 to $300 a month on. 18%. She said, every time I make a payment, the principal don't drop, and it won't on a credit card. So what she did is she took her $5,000 on this particular car we're talking about, still walked out of here with a $350 a month payment, with no money out of her pocket, by the way. Took the $5,000, paid off those 18% credit cards. So she's got a $350 payment, but she's paying $267 less. So really, what was her payment? $83?
That's a good deal.
Yeah, her payment was $83 a month with the difference between the credit card and the car.
Yeah, baby, let's go. Remember, if you're alive, you can drive. The all-new Murano, $8,000 cash back. Whoa! Ultima, Pathfinder, $6,000 cash back. Nissan Sentra, up to $5,000 cash back. Any pre-owned purchase whatsoever, $6,000 minimum trade. Yes, $6,000. Here's a Monday at the close of business. Just stop in and say, just do the deal, and you got a $100 shopping spree on Steve's Trade Amnesty, Credit Amnesty. And remember, if I can't get you approved, nobody can. And don't forget, we're closer than you think. Hurry, it all ends Monday at the close of business. You know me, Philly, just do the deal.
We go from the Sentra. We take a step up. We have not one, not two, but how many vehicles at this next deal?
3 vehicles.
3?
3 vehicles that'll take $6,000 in rebates and getting cash back. Put the money in your pocket, not 5, but $6,000. And that would be our most popular SUV with a 3rd row seat and a V6.
The Rogue.
Now the Pathfinder. The Rogue.
The Rogue.
Which is the most popular. Doesn't have the 3rd seat. Pathfinder does. And the Ultima, which is the car that they sell a ton of in the country.
So you're talking about either the Ultima, the Rogue, or the Pathfinder.
Yes.
How much cash back we talking here?
$6,000.
Now, once again, Steve, the cash back, can you take it and break it up half toward a bill? Half, take the money and put it away for a rainy day.
Your money. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the money on the table. You tell me how you want to do it, all right? I'm going to proceed with a car deal. I've got the deal financed for you. You tell me what you want to do with the 6. You want to put some of it toward the car to lower your payment? You want to leave the payment? You're comfortable with the payment the way it is? You want to leave the payment the way it is? Put the $6,000 in your pocket, pay off something else. You and your husband go on a cruise, a vacation, or you and your wife, whatever the deal is, it's your money. I'm not telling you how to spend your money. And keep in mind that you're going to come in with this car. And we had a lot of them. I got a yard full of them in the back I got to get rid of right now. The people come in here dragging these cars in here, 100-something thousand miles, $18,000 we own it. 169,000 mile car, the lady owed $17,400. I said, how do you own 169? She says, well, you know, I went to this used car dealer in Philadelphia, and, you know, I said, holy smokes, ma'am. So next thing you know, I've got to get her out of that car because we got trade amnesty. I get her out of that car, and I ask her what she wants to do with her cash. Put it in your pocket or whatever, because I'm telling you I'm paying off your car, okay, no matter what, all right, when we're getting you financed. So that cash back has been huge for people. It really, really, really caught on.
It's really a difference maker. And speaking of difference makers, you did something, Steve, earlier last month.
Yes.
That I thought was fantastic and, quite frankly, unheard of. You basically invited people to come into this dealership
Yes.
without having to buy a vehicle,
Yep.
basically finding a manager or yourself and saying, just do the deal. And you wanted them to come in and see the experience for yourself
Yep.
here at the all-new Devon Nissan. Now, that's what you call putting your money where your mouth is. Now, I know that the banks have stepped up their game.
Yeah.
I know that Nissan, as you just mentioned, has stepped up their game, and we're not done yet. But the question is, we know Steve is also stepping up his game with all those other things coming together. Yeah. So, will you continue the $100 shopping spree just for stopping in and saying, just do the deal here at the all-new Devon Nissan?
Well, let me tell you something what it did for Christmas. First of all, it brought 676 people
Whoa!
through this dealership, and most of, probably 500 of them, never been here before.
Wow, you made some new friends.
I made some new friends. We talked. There's going to be people interested in the spring market, in the summer, maybe next year. A few of the people said, you know something, while I'm here, can you give me a price on my trade? And we made it so easy. We sold a few cars because of it. But I'm going to continue the $100 gift card for the month of January. Okay, everybody used a gift card to do some Christmas shopping and everything else, and they had no problem at all. It's your gift card. And again, no purchase necessary. Just stop in. And by the way, too, I didn't tell you this before we started this. We got something else cooking.
Something else?
Yeah. Eddie P., the Just Do the Deal #2 guy, okay, had come up with, for this month, and we're doing a Facebook. You know, you go on our website and you like our page or you share our page on Facebook. We've got over 1,000 followers right now. I said, well, why don't we just do it this way? Instead of having to go on Facebook and get your name put in for the drawing, how about if we say, if you come into the dealership, okay, and we just enter your name, you're going to get $1,000 cash. It's not a shopping spree. If you want it to be, it could be. But I'm going to give you $1,000 in cash. We're going to have a drawing. No purchase necessary again, but all you have to do is come in and look at our car, take a test drive, get some questions answered, you know, show a little interest, folks, wink, 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 and we'll put you in for the $1,000.
What's a wink, wink, wink?
Well, you know, I don't want you to think you have to buy anything, but it'd be nice to kind of show that maybe you would want to buy something, because I am going to be giving you $1,000. So stop in and, you know, again, put your name in the hat for the month of January, and we're going to pick one lucky person at the end of the month that's going to win the $1,000.
Wow. So not only do they stop in and just say, just do the deal, they get the $100 shopping spree, but just for stopping in and speaking for a minute or two to a salesperson or some other folks here in management, you're going to enter their name into a drawing for a $1,000 to be given away at the end of this month. That's a pretty good deal. And that's not even counting the offers that are on the table right now with brand new Nissans and pre-owned vehicles, which we're going to get to in a minute. Now, so far, Steve, we've talked about the Sentra, up to $5,000 cash back. We've also talked about the Altima, the Rogue, or the Pathfinder, up to $6,000 cash back. Now, those offers right there, Steve, before we get to the big boy, what do you say to them?
Just do the deal.
And by the way, during this event, if you can't get them approved, Steve, you and your team and all the banks, my question is to you, who can?
I believe there's nobody in the city of Philadelphia or the greater metro market area that can get you approved if I can't get you approved. I've got banks on hand, and keep in mind, people out there have been following this half-hour show, and I've had a lot of people tell me, Steve, I've been following your show for a few years now, and they know this. I've been saying this and saying it and saying it. At my old Chevy store, we were saying it. At the Nissan store, we're saying it. I wouldn't be saying it unless I can do it. We're getting people approved. You're not having to go to a used car dealer, pay a tremendously high interest rate, get a car. I had a lady in here just yesterday, just yesterday,
Hey.
that I sat with TJ, and we were talking, and she just picked up this car 4 months ago. She was told that the car had brakes all the way around, oil change was done, and none of the above. And she's sitting with this car now that's got sludge in the motor, and she feels it's got a slip in the transmission.
That's not good.
And the car's probably worth $5,500, and she now owes $16,200 on it.
That's trouble.
That's trouble. And I told her, I said, I'll see what I can do. We fortunately, yesterday, because of trade amnesty, got her out of the car. She had to put down, I think, $700 or $800, take care of some of the taxes, and we got her in another car with obviously half the miles, 55 or 60,000. She was ecstatic when she left, and we got her out of the problem. But that problem could have been avoided. If you come down, give me the first shot. Instead of running your credit, having all these inquiries, by the time you get to me, I'm going to try next to my house. I'm going to try down the street. Well, my friend told me to go over to see this guy. I'm going to tell you something. You've got to sit and think about it just a moment. We've got a new car dealership, a new car franchise, guy that's been in the market for a long time, very well respected by most of the banks. And where I'm sitting here selling cars, giving people a far superior product, or again, you're going into these different places, or buying a car out of somebody's garage or somebody's backyard, or you're going to somebody's smaller lots. Where are you going to get the more value? I mean, you sit and think about it. Where is it possibly that the bank is probably going to approve the deal for you? Think about that.
Now, one more question. So, Steve, if you can't get them approved, who can?
Nobody can.
Yeah, baby, let's go. Remember, if you're alive, you can drive. The all-new Murano, $8,000 cash back. Whoa! Altima, Pathfinder, $6,000 cash back. Nissan Sentra, up to $5,000 cash back. Any pre-owned purchase whatsoever, $6,000 minimum trade. Yes, $6,000. Here's the Monday at the close of business. Just stop in and say, just do the deal, and you got a $100 shopping spree on Steve's Trade Amnesty, Credit Amnesty. And remember, if I can't get you approved, nobody can. And don't forget, we're closer than you think. Hurry, it all ends Monday at the close of business. You know me, Philly, just do the deal.
We want to talk about a really popular vehicle, and Nissan, as you mentioned, continues to step up their game. We're talking about the Murano in the month of January. Steve, they've got their foot still on the accelerator with the cashback opportunity and the rebates and incentives on the Murano here at the all-new Devon Nissan, don't they?
They absolutely do. Murano is our big boy. That vehicle there obviously starts out at about $36,000 MSRP and goes up all the way to $50,000. If you get into the platinum with all the bells and whistles, we have this month $8,000 in January, cash back to you. Take the money, enjoy it, and buy the Murano, and you get $8,000 back.
Now, that $8,000 cash back on a vehicle like that is a real difference maker, especially with a trade-in situation where you're really upside down. Out of equity, that is the out-of-equity buster, the $8,000 cash back, Steve. That's big. That's huge.
How many times have you walked into the dealer and the dealer says, I need $4,000 or $5,000 down? Well, listen, you've got 8.
In 4,000 or 5,000, you got about half the money.
It goes back to what I just said. When you're walking into dealerships that are selling cars and they got used automobiles and they're sitting there trying to sell you a used car, and you have to put your own cash down. I'm putting the cash down for you between myself,
He's got the cash.
the manufacturer, and myself, and we're putting the money down for you. So that money that you needed down, we're doing it for you.
And you're sending them on a shopping spree just for stopping in and entering into a $1,000 drawing at the end of the month.
Right, so you got a chance to win $1,000. You're going to get $100 for sure. I'm going to give you $8,000 if you purchase the car, and we can get the terms agreeable to you and the bank at the time of sale. And let me tell you something. It's a win-win for all you guys.
Sounds like Santa Claus is still here in the month of January.
I expect January to, over last January, and how I gauge it is last January versus just January. We had a great January last January, but I expect January this year to be maybe not double, but 1.5 times better.
That's saying something. That's saying something.
I'm telling everybody out there now, and you heard it here first, that 2020 is going to be a great year. A lot of what you've seen in 19, a lot of what you've seen in 18, the last couple of years have probably been tough for everybody. I'm telling you now that 2020 is going to be a definite difference. It's going to be a difference maker this year. We're going to get this whole thing back on the right track. I'm telling you, the banks are now, stock market's booming. The banks are feeling good about lending money out. The rates are still low. Your banks are still able to buy this money cheap. They're able to lend it out cheap, and they're able to take a little risk that they couldn't take before because the money is so cheap. And let me tell you something, folks, take advantage of it while it's here. Because, hey, listen, in 2 months, 3 months, I could be sitting here in March telling you, you know something, you should have done it in January. Do not hesitate. The stars and the moon are aligned for you right now. You've got income tax time coming. You've got me giving you cash. It's all happening right now, right here. Don't hesitate. Get here. Like I said, if you're alive, you can drive at Devon Nissan. Ask for the Just Do the Deal guy. My name is Steve, and remember, if nobody can get you approved, I can.
Yeah, baby, let's go. Remember, if you're alive, you can drive. The all-new Murano, $8,000 cash back. Whoa! Ultima, Pathfinder, $6,000 cash back. Nissan Sentra, up to $5,000 cash back. Any pre-owned purchase whatsoever, $6,000 minimum trade. Yes, $6,000. Here till Monday at the close of business. Just stop in and say, just do the deal, and you got a $100 shopping spree on Steve's Trade Amnesty, Credit Amnesty. And remember, if I can't get you approved, nobody can. And don't forget, we're closer than you think. Hurry, it all ends Monday at the close of business. You know me, Philly, just do the deal.
Here at the all-new Devon Nissan, you've alluded to this a little bit throughout the program.
Exactly right.
In the month of December, you were getting all kind of people out of their trades, and consequently, your lot and your overflow lot is loaded with pre-owned cars. What in the world are you going to do with all those pre-owned cars, and how in the world can you get them out of here?
I've got an answer for it. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. It was such a success. For the last week, we ran this, if you remember, hot and heavy, the last week of December, and we sold a boatload of used cars. And I also got all the wrecks back there that I took in trade for $6,000 too much money, okay, that are sitting back there that I got to get towed to junkyards and impound lots and everything else.
You're not talking about doing this again, are you?
I'm doing it again for January because it's going to be a huge month, and I told you 2020 is going to be big. Get on board. I'm telling you, it's going to happen this year for everybody out in the world, out in TV land. It's going to happen for us, the dealers. I'm telling you, this is going to be a great year. Come on down. I don't care what car you got, and they use the old terms, push it, pull it, drag it, whatever, tow it, whatever you got to do. You get your old jalopy here. I'm going to give you $6,000 for it. Minimum towards the purchase of any pre-owned car. Because let's face it, we got all this cash back for a new car buyer.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, what does the used car buyer usually get? A high payment, high interest rates, and you have to put a lot of money down.
But not here at the all-new Devon Nissan.
Not here at the all-new Devon Nissan. Take advantage of this. This thing runs from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I believe.
Wednesday night, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, ends Monday at the close of business.
Okay, so we almost got a whole week of it.
Oh, yeah.
So get here, give me your problem car that don't run, sit as long as you got a title to it. I got to have a title, and bring that car down here. And again, you got to have a job, okay? And your job has to make enough to cover your payment. You can't go out of here and make $500 a week and try to have a $800 a month payment, okay? So that's not going to work. It wouldn't work for you anyway, okay? Most of the customers want to be around $300 to $350 to $400 tops, depending on what car you pick out. I'm going to have 100 and something cars in this lot packed for this 4 or 5 day sale. Come down here, take advantage of it. I'm personally going to be picking out these cars. We're going to have an array of cars starting at $5,000 and $6,000 and $7,000, all the way up to $30,000 and $35,000 and $40,000. We're going to have a car for everybody. They're all going to be Devon Nissan certified. We're going to make sure the car's right. Not going to have a problem. Most of the cars are under warranty. We're going to make sure if they're not, they're going to be warranted for you. Come down, take advantage of the sale.
Yeah, baby, let's go. Remember, if you're alive, you can drive. The all-new Murano, $8,000 cash back. Whoa! Ultima Pathfinder, $6,000 cash back. Nissan Sentra, up to $5,000 cash back. Any pre-owned purchase whatsoever, $6,000 minimum trade. Yes, $6,000. Here's the Monday at the close of business. Just stop in and say, just do the deal, and you got a $100 shopping spree on Steve Trade Amnesty, Credit Amnesty. And remember, if I can't get you approved, nobody can. And don't forget, we're closer than you think. Hurry! It all ends Monday at the close of business. You know me, Philly. Just do the deal.
Brand new Nissan, Steve. We've got the Sentra. How much cash back on the Sentra?
$5,000.
From there, the Ultima, the Rogue, or Pathfinder. Steve, how much cash back there?
$6,000.
And if you want the big boy cash, the most cash back of all, we're talking about the brand new Murano. How much cash back on that, Steve?
Well, I can tell you it's not 5. I know it's not 6. I certainly would be embarrassed to say 7, but I'm awful proud to say $8,000.
Low interest rates, too, as low as 0% financing. Steve, that along with the cash back really makes it a crazy, crazy time. And
$6,000 minimum trade on any pre-owned car.
that's crazy, too. Push it in, pull it in, drag it in.
And come on in and just say, do the deal, get a $100 gift card, and guess what? Enter your name on any test drive for a $1,000 giveaway for the end of the month. Come on down. We've got everything going. We're passing out cash, and more cash. I'm happy to give it up. We did in 2019 break all sales records. I'm going to do it again in 2020. Be part of the team, part of the family. Come on down and let's know that just do the deal.
And if you thought Santa Claus went back to the North Pole, you are definitely wrong. Why? He's starting off 2020 right here at the all-new Devon Nissan. Remember, the sale is on Thursday. It's on Friday. It's on Saturday through the close of business Monday. Don't miss out on these opportunities. Your trade-in has never been worth more toward the purchase of another pre-owned automobile. Why? $6,000 cash for your trash. Brand new Nissans, $5,000 cash back on the Sentra, the Ultima, the Rogue, the Pathfinder, up to $6,000 cash back. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, the Murano, up to $8,000 cash back in your pocket. And remember, stop in, because just for stopping in and saying, hey, Steve, or any member of the team, just do the deal, you are going to receive a $100 shopping spree, no questions asked. It is that easy. It is that simple. And by the way, during this event, trade amnesty and credit amnesty. And remember, if Steve can't get you approved Thursday, Friday, Saturday through the close of business Monday, hey, Steve, if you can't get them approved, who can?
I promise you, nobody.
Remember to come see Steve, and remember, it's Thursday, it's Friday, it's Saturday through the close of business Monday. Remember, here at the all-new Devon Nissan, Steve loves to say these magic words.
If you're alive, you can drive. Just do the deal, Philly. Yeah, baby, let's go. Remember, if you're alive, you can drive. The all-new Murano, $8,000 cash back. Whoa! Ultima Pathfinder, $6,000 cash back. Nissan Sentra, up to $5,000 cash back. Any pre-owned purchase whatsoever, $6,000 minimum trade. Yes, $6,000. Here's the Monday at the close of business. Just stop in and say, just do the deal, and you got a $100 shopping spree on Steve Trade Amnesty, Credit Amnesty. And remember, if I can't get you approved, nobody can. And don't forget, we're closer than you think. Hurry! It all ends Monday at the close of business. You know me, Philly. Just do the deal.